Greetings, one and all. Greetings, one and all. Some things have occurred. It is 7:33 on 8/23, and we're going to hop in and get started. So far this Sun Eve, I'm at 19,196,000 steps. So 19,196 steps. All right, it's about 7.76 miles. And 2,700 something calories burned, supposedly. Everything, of course, approximately. But let's get in here, clear the energy. I'm going to give you all an update and let's get started. So, my hope is that all is well. I actually performed a reading on Friday evening. And wow, I had channeled messages. Everything that came through was clear, great, amazing. It was not rushed. It was actually my first ever hour-long reading. And I had an iffy feeling. And as soon as I flipped the tablet over to crop the edges down and things along those lines, I noticed what normally happens is me hearing the sound when it plays back did not play. And I said, well, maybe it's just an error here. Cut the volume all the way up. Let's go ahead and upload it to YouTube. Waited and ensured that the entire video was uploaded onto, did I say Amazon? YouTube, if I did not say YouTube the first time. And sure enough, the volume also, when it starts to play before you can change the cover image, it was not there. And immediately feeling defeatist, guilty, convicted, distraught. All that time and investment definitely could have been in the bed much earlier. But had to let that go and realize, again, everything happens for a reason. And we're going to get back on whenever it is time and simply move forward. I potentially will read the notes from that message again to potentially excuse me for the sneeze. So something needs to be gotten out and it's going to come out. But let's go ahead and hop into this. I also did receive a message to share at the beginning of a reading I might do today, but I left that on my phone, which is in the other room, and we're just going to begin right here. So we will be looking at the truth. We're going to get some location, character, answer, time and place, and roles cards. All right, I'm just going to shuffle each one twice and let's see what energy comes out. So hope all is well. If you're tuning in because there is a particular situation you are looking for answers for or about, keep it at the forefront of your mind or write it down on a sticky note, jot it down. Let's see here if what comes through are the guides providing you with specific confirmation, affirmations, guidance, clues as to what's going on in your situation. I'm going to do this one again. It knew it was coming out. I saw it 3 times. Potentially upwards of 3 times. That bathroom card right here. But I'm so excited. School begins for me on tomorrow in the state that I teach in. And I have a few more things to do this evening before shutting things down to prepare for tomorrow. Ooh, wherever this is. But here on this channel, we hold ourselves accountable. we focus on analyzing situations, knowing that there's always three versions of the truth: your truth, their truth, and the truth. We are hyper critical, analytical. We analyze the things that happen. I am going to take that and put that on the inside. One more shuffle. And we are very appreciative and thankful and grateful over here. Everything is an opportunity to learn. No matter how we feel about it in the moment or afterwards. Because everything is figure outable, we will, if we choose to, glean and figure out what was the cause, the source, the reasoning, and the outcome, and the lesson to learn. All right, let's get started. So, two potential scenarios going on. Again, things can overlap. We have a 6. That's what popped out to me first. We have 2 5s. We have a 4 and a 2 and a 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And any combination of those numbers. And then scooping the sides down and the middle up. Whatever spills out, oops, we take. And then I'll always come down in the center in the middle. Grab a few. All right, we have a Q. So quick, make haste. B, Bobby, branded, bandit, branding might be significant. We have Z's here that has been coming out a lot. It's interesting that Z's tend to go down to the bottom in the middle, and I scoop things up. But some of you need to get some rest and focus on your sleep and get some naps in. J, just because. Something is K here, kicking your ass maybe right now at this moment. S, see the possibilities. And A, ascertain, acquire. Again, account for how you got into the situation. Now, I'll always let you choose. We have a D here on this side and a W on this side. I'm going to choose the W because you are winner. You are winning. You are whimsical. We have here either a J or a Q. I'm going to take the J. Just realize, and that means we have 2 J's actually on the board, that you're in tune. And I might have said that prompted by this T here and a G on the other side. But I'm going to do like thinking of get. I'll put the T side up, but the G is also plausible. So some of you right now are, this card says look for. So some of you are looking for, you are investigating, you are exploring, you are searching for something. As it pertains to a place, potentially you have chosen and decided to sit on a bench outside. You're resting and relaxing, getting in a comfortable seated position to pause and to ponder about what it is you are searching for. And you're having to coach yourself through, or maybe you have a life coach who is, and it could be yourself, you who are training yourself. This is how you do your exploratory research work. You're nurturing yourself on the bench with time to pause and ponder. You're developing a plan. Okay, I am searching for this, and you're writing it down. You're encouraging yourself again, like on that relaxation park bench. All right, this is what we found. This is what we did not find. Even not finding things is providing answers, and you're supporting yourself or receiving support through this looking for process. Because the answer is there is a threat. There's a feud, calamity, commotion. There's a natural enemy to your energy that is threatening you with a deadly pursuit. And you have felt this for quite some time. And our time card is saying in April. You sensed it of this year. Earlier back, something came to you in the spring, and when it was a time for newness, like people getting out in the garden, it was actually a time for you when things were getting all in good spring energy and looking beautiful, to take recognition of things aren't going as good for you in the springtime as they normally would. And so the particular role that you chose to play back then that's resulting in your now is you're a whistleblower. You called this MNFer or this role player, this liar, this deceiver out. You disclose to your family members, you disclose to your boss, you disclose to justice peace workers or the police that there's something going on. You became an informant to yourself and you uncovered some information. So in this first scenario, what is very, very relevant is some of you have been looking for maybe your birth parents, your birth certificate. You've been looking for the place where you've been raised, or the person who raised you, their burial site. I'm hearing, where's their tombstone? And for whatever it is that you're looking for, you're being called to note that you are going to need to take a moment to rest. It is okay if you coach yourself through, hey, develop a plan of what to investigate and in what order. And it's okay if you choose to go out of order. Now, remember, when you sit down to rest, you got to take a water break. You need to take a healthy snack break to nurture yourself, to feed your brain, to be very efficient with the time that you're using. Or you could get a professional coach. The whole point of this is because you have been told in your intuition, you have made note in your mind that something is not right. There's a threat. And whether it was April or the spring, around this time, your intuition, your inner knowing, your higher consciousness told you you're going to need to take a pause and look into something. You're going to need to rest in the car, at the red light, on your lunch break, in the bathroom, on the toilet, in the tub, in the shower. And you're going to need to realize that there's something for you to shed light on. And when you do find it, what do you end up doing with it? You have got to tell someone. And that someone has to be a key trusted individual or the masses. And again, like we started off this reading, even acknowledging to that person, I get that I'm telling you what I have discovered, what I feel. And again, you're not telling everybody from the rooftops. In some situations, it's only trusted individuals, especially if this is a incident or a moment of domestic violence or any type of abuse, mental, physical, emotional, psychological, financial abuse. Whoever it is that you choose to tell must be intricate people. I'm hearing if it's its mom, she's probably not the key figure to tell. He picked up these patterned of behaviors from either mom or dad or whoever the male or female role models are that he looked up to in his life. And they probably committed or enabled some form of this behavior in their partnership in order for that person to display it and embody it in the relationship with you. So that's not a person that you would be a whistleblower to, as an example. But whoever those clue, maybe C, so another C, clue, key people are, you let them know, because they might be the people who say, hey, I'm going to give you $100 just to get out of town. And Brenda is going to give you another $150 to put y'all up in this, motel for the night, whatever have you. But there's something for you to look for because it is a threat. You need to know to rest and not wear yourself out, because it's going to draw attention to yourself, because you've been sitting with this for a while. I'm hearing from April to August, and A is out here on the table. So from April to August, you have been aware internally of a threat, and you have just now been called forward to look into what has been eating at you internally. All right? Because you're going to have to say something about it once you get some of the answers or all of the answers. So that's the first narrative for some of you. Coach yourself through it. Get a professional, not a family member, not a friend. Okay? Train pure and true with only trusted individuals and safe places. So the other narrative, or maybe there is an overlap or some similarities, is some of you right now feel like life is noisy sounds in your ears, and your mind is hollowed. And I was going to say hold, but hard was what I was needing to state. It's been hard to quiet the noisy sounds in your brain, in your ears. This information overload coming from connection with social media it's getting out of control. The scrolling and looking at other people's highlights that they want to show, that they have edited about their life, which is not their actual real life, has been making you feel defeatist. Why can't I have a butt like that, an ass like that? Why can't I have a waistline like that? Why can't I have a car like that? Why can't I? Be careful of the narratives that you state and you say to yourself, because this present energy is what makes your future energy that you resonate, you move in, that you come from. I'm thankful that I can have that, though I choose right now in this season to not. That's not the most efficient fiscal use of my resources. Flip the narrative. Retrain your consciousness with what is true. It is actually possible, because all things are possible. Some of you have come to this realization in the bathroom. I'm hearing set new boundary, safe space rules for you. No cell phone in the bathroom. It's a pristine place for water cleansing, water worship, water renewal. And it's time to set up those boundaries. No noise, no influence, no stories, no narratives, no soap operas, no electronics in the bed. And even, I was going to say bedroom, in the bedroom and the bathroom. Banned. And we have a B here again. So again, banned. And there's the Y on the other side. Yes, ban the cell phone from being in the bedroom and the bathroom. I'm hearing, yeah, you can put it in the hallway, whatever outlet is closest to the bedroom. Put it right there on the charger. Cut it off and leave it right there. Get yourself a old school alarm clock, the one with the two silver bells on it and the metal ticker on the in between it. Bring that into the bedroom. Or old school sharp alarm clock, easy to get online, maybe somewhere between $5, $6, $7, $8. Maybe if you want a fancy one, $12, $27. But the character you're being told to focus on is being like a ninja. This is why. The master of stealth, the shadow walker, engaging in Bushido, knowing the pressure points and the synchronicities of the blacks and the grays and the whites on these three cards here. You have an information overload. This is not connecting to the information you're looking for. Again, this is a completely separate narrative for some of you. There's so much trying to influence you and distract you on purpose. The algorithm and the algorithms of these pieces of technology have knowingly been crafted and created and patented to distract you, to waver your mind and staying constant and true in working towards, in ascertaining, in obtaining steps towards your goals being accomplished. I'm hearing, even if your step today towards accomplishing your goal is, I'm going to get in the bed an hour early, 30 minutes earlier every day this week so that I can be more rested to begin working out next week. That is important. Keeping the bathroom as a clean space. Everything is organized and aligned in the cabinets and the drawers. It's in a container. Nothing is just out and sprawled around. It is cleaned. It is wiped off. I have a bottle of disinfectant wipes or a bottle of alcohol and a towel to always make sure everything is completely disinfected and it's clean when I leave. Whatever you need to do, the bathroom needs to become a sanctuary. And for some of you, the bedroom as well, as it pertains to banning your contact with social media, vibrational distractions that mentally corrode and corrupt you. Why are you being asked to do this? Because this is a time to be stealth with your enemies, the enemies in your mind, the enemy in me, and the enemies around you, whether that be your spouse or your significant other or a parent guardian who is in your residence with you. Setting up some borders and some boundaries are good for you. I'm hearing even the example I used to give to my athletes when they were when I was a coach. I used to was very, very, very strict, very firm rules, but it always was good for them in the end. And they and their parents were like, I'm very appreciative for some of the examples that you gave us of how to keep following your rules during school, even when you knew that there were going to be moments when our friends would ask us not to. So here's an example. You were always on time to class and you were paying attention and taking notes. And when the teacher is done teaching, or if they're okay with it, you're raising your hand to get clarity if there's something they said or had just stated that you do not comprehend. And as it pertains to walking in the hallways, you're not doing any type of promiscuous behavior, especially when you're wearing my uniform, the school's uniform, being a representation of leadership and character and integrity. And so if someone of your friends or associates encourages you to behave maladaptively, you can simply let them know, I can't do that. It's going to get back to my coach. She sent out an email to all of our teachers to keep a special eye out on us. And there are cameras in the hallway. And she already showed us the email back from the principal that they don't mind pulling up the cameras if we are accused of doing something in the hallways by a teacher, so she can see proof just in case she has an inkling that that teacher is not telling the truth. So I can't afford to come hang out with y'all in the bathrooms and be late to class. I cannot afford to do XYZ 1, 2, 3 or talk with you in class, because if I'm off my game, if I'm not performing correctly according to her rules, we get demerits and a certain number of demerits and you're off. And the demerits that you can get to be off are not that high. I think at that time it was like 8. So it's time for you to be stealthy. The first example I thought of is actually, maybe for some of you, you have an in-law in the house or some in-laws in the house, and they're always creeping past the bedroom, hearing what y'all doing in there, to the point where y'all aren't even making love no more, or as much as y'all used to, or trying to sneak into it when one of them is not in the house. Because if one of them is in the house, the one who really wants to know to make y'all feel uncomfortable about it is going to inquire, well, did they do anything while you were there? Why didn't you hear my, the text message ping on your cell phone when I text you or when I called you? Did you have your headphones on because you didn't want to hear what they were doing? Like, somebody is a really nosy, obnoxious busybody. And if they're not happy for whatever reason, they are monitoring the levels of happiness that others in the residence have, and are going to make unnecessary, disrespectful, in my opinion, comments when everyone is together, as if to embarrass y'all. And I'm here to tell you right now, don't feel embarrassed. Chirp back. I didn't say clap back. Chirp back with a response of, for example, at breakfast, y'all sitting there, this particular family member makes the comment, ooh wee, somebody must have really been patting their foot hard to a song last night, because I just couldn't get some sleep with all that foot patting to whatever that music was. What was that song y'all was listening to in the bedroom? Because both of y'all must have been enjoying that song at the same time. Or whatever could be said, even if it's said more vulgarly outright. You who is listening to this message, or the two of you, if you resonate with this type of thing, if you choose to re-summarize or state how to address these moments in the future, because you should not feel ashamed about engaging in your marital rights. Yes, we enjoy making love It puts a smile on his face and a smile on my face in the process and afterwards. It's a good release of stress, and it assists in the burning of some small amount of calories and works up a good little sweat, and the endorphins and the positive hormones that fire off leads to the most peaceful rest. So yes, sometimes we choose to assist ourselves with obtaining better, more peaceful rest, burning a few small calories, and putting a smile on each other's face as a result of choosing to freely give and receive. Shut that shit down and let it be. We don't need you commenting on the fact that we are adults who are married in our house making love, which is none of your business. And if you're uncomfortable with it because you are in our residence, you can either choose, once it awakens you, to put some headphones on, or we can assist you with finding a new residence where our lovemaking, which establishes peace and builds camaraderie and trust and happiness in our relationship, does not disturb your well-being and way of life that you would choose to be about. We have here the answer oracle says delivery. So two fall looking cards here. Maybe something about the fall is significant for someone. Maybe you're going to a graduation. I'm hearing maybe master's degree or some type of certification, but some form of transportation, potentially inheritance. Something is being escorted to you, being delivered. All right, so that's the answer. If you've been wondering about a delivery, yes, or this message itself is a delivery for you. How to get rid of the noise of other people's projected or projections into your life is to, in the bathroom, use water rituals, the washing of the hands, the washing of the face, the washing of the body, the washing of the hair and the scalp, and making sure at least one day a week, or at least once every 2 weeks, you are making sure you have a whole body cleanse. The scalp is cleansed intentionally in the shower, the face is cleansed, the body is cleansed all the way down to the feet, and with the head being massaged and cleansed, the body and the face and the feet, the squeaky clean silent movement is going to keep you so much so in alignment for this coming in. And again, what do we have here? Movement, talking and seeing up here. This ninja who is what? Moving across these rooftops. And what is transportation? Movement of items. All right. Time frame, we have in the reverse on Sunday. So something is not occurring on a Sunday. I'm hearing, if it's this conversation with this family member, it's not to happen on Sunday. They're going to call up, ooh, they messed up my whole week with saying what they said to me on Sunday at dinner or Sunday at brunch or whatever it was. Ooh, I can't believe that. I'll never start a week off well again because of the nerve of what they had. They could say it, but they didn't have to say it on Sunday at the top of the week. So for some of you, Sunday is not the day to say it. Sunday might not be the day to tell your spouse either. Sunday might just be the day to be like, I had some time to sleep on it all day Sunday. You wonder why I was so silent? Well, when you turned over, I did my best to crack a smile, pull up a smile from the edges of my face. While I was rubbing my chest so much and holding my wrist and my pulse and shifting my weight, is because I was really internally, mentally, and emotionally struggling through holding in what it is that I really knew that for a while I had been praying on I needed to say, but I didn't have the confirmation yet from the Lord, from the spirit guides, from the ancestors, from my higher self to know when to say it. And Sunday wasn't the day, but today was. I need you to respect that. And know this was not something that I needed to tell you ahead of time, because I did not need you to coax me or coach me out of delivering this. I had to go about this myself and walk straight up to that moment and make sure I cut out all the noise and that I cleanse myself beforehand and move forward confidently, because the sound of disrespect just cannot be tolerated anymore. And what role does that leave you in? Oh, baby, you are the fairy. You are enchanting because of this. You are protecting in this particular scenario that I am being stuck on for some reason. You are the fairy and the highlight of their life in this relationship now. You noticed something and you enchantingly and wisely chose when to do it and knew when not to do it. You had the spirits on your side saying, yes, baby girl, look at you applying that discernment, moving in a very stealth-like way, changing your habits so even people would know, or just he would know, your significant other would know that something's changed, because the bathroom is different. It's new now. The bedroom is different for them. It's new now. They're not forcing what their new habits are on me, because they're just trying to bring peace of pushing out this noisy sound, and it actually makes them more magical. It actually is making their skin, their aura glitter even more. All right. So I hope that message helps in whatever way. As always, everything is figure outable. Whatever it is you need to figure out with this research, it will be figured out. Whatever was making you feel negative, you now know it was a threat that has been figured out. You know what you need to do about this threat and the information. You're going to speak on it. You have figured out that you're going to coach yourself or receive professional coaching. That you have figured out that you're going to remember to take a pause, ever maybe 3 days, 1 day, hour, 3 hours, you know the rest. You have figured out that something has made your internal narrative so negative. You have figured out what that was. You have figured out that the clutter that you see and experience in your bedroom and your bathroom have got to go. You have figured that out, and you have cleaned it and put the installments of items in the area to maintain its cleanliness. And you have figured out how do you move in communicating this newness to you. It's first by your actions, getting the alarm clock, cleaning the bathroom, and then you're just moving more quietly. You're stepping light. You're not making any noise. You might hum to yourself. I would encourage you to hum to yourself. Whatever song it is, hum it to yourself. You ain't got to sing it out loud. Hum. There is some powerful magic working powers in humming, keeping the spirit with life. And what is this bringing to you? A delivery opportunity for you to escort in the communication pattern, tactics, way. But again, you are discerning when to deliver this. It ain't going to be on a Sunday, and you are in your lightness of heart with your feathers on your back and your magical glitter of the synchronistic rhythm of your tongue, delivering this message to who needs to hear it. So I pray all is well for you. Peace and blessings and gratitude. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.